Hi, my name is Aleisha Brooks, and I'm a writing coach, and I'm a writer of several novels and screenplays, and a writer's book just for you. It's called Crush Writer's Block Forever, and I want to help you overcome writer's block for good. Hey guys, welcome back to your writer's course, Writing Beyond the Block. Today, I'm going to give you a few tips on how to avoid writer's block, okay? So let's get started. The first tip is write while you're inspired. A lot of us writers get inspired quite a bit. And we decide, for some reason, we're going to go and do something else right after we get inspired. So first tip, the moment that you get inspired is write it down. Now you can use a microphone. You can use your cell phone. You can write it out on a piece of paper. I have a few things that I do. I keep a little tablet of paper in my car with a pen. I also have my microphone and I have my cell phone. And so occasionally I'll send myself a message, or I will just talk into my recorder, or I'll talk into my note taker on my cell phone. So that means go ahead and write notes. Write notes to yourself. Okay, so you're driving and you get inspired. What do you do? Well, obviously, if you're rushing around, then it can be hard to take notes. But listen, this is your inspiration. So I recommend you pull over, be safe, and either talk into your cell phone so that you can get it down very quickly, or note it down. But just go ahead and pull over down. I found myself inspired one day when I was at a Korean spa. Well, guess what? At a Korean spa, you're naked. So I had nothing to write with. So what I did was ran downstairs, put my towel and everything on, and then I went to my locker, grabbed my phone, started writing it down, and so that I didn't lose it. You know, it's very important that you don't lose this. That's your number one tip, is write while you're inspired. Now, if you happen to be inspired enough to want to write a scene, a full scene, or you know, full chapter or whatever, and it's not just writing down an idea, well, then you should definitely find, if you're on the road or wherever, find a safe spot and write it. At least get enough down where you can pick it up at the freest moment that you have. Okay? So now the second tip about how to get inspired, right? How to get inspired, and obviously how to avoid writer's block, is go out and look. A lot of times, all it takes is for me to go and take a walk. So use your time, use your energy, use your focus, look outward. Look outward. Because a lot of times if you're busy looking inward, you can get stuck. Because even though we receive a lot of messages inside and there's a lot going on, and you dream and you do this and you do that, it still can act as a block. Because at some point, the energy that you have, that you're drawing from, is kind of an internal, limited energy. But you go outside, look at the energy, right? It's limitless. Your universe is limitless. So what you have to do is get outside, take a walk, focus outward, even clear your mind, you know. So focus outward, give yourself some space, get some deep breathing oxygen to energize those physical body cells, and then come back and you will be inspired. Trust me, it works. And if you feel like you just have to keep walking until you're inspired, you can do that too. It works. I've done it several times where I've just been gone. I even had a notebook in my pocket and I was gone for an hour just walking, looking around, getting space, creating this just environment that was apropos and welcoming to inspiration. And then as I was walking back home, it hit me, and I sat down on the steps right in front of my house, and I started writing this poem. And so I had a very, very lucrative walk. The third tip to avoid writer's block and to get yourself inspired is to assume the viewpoint of your audience. Now, if we haven't talked about audience before, what you really want to do is determine who is your audience. And you can look at other people's writing and look at the comments in other people's writing to see what kind of an audience they are. You can go to Goodreads. You can really do some research and find out who is your audience. Then what you need to do, and I say assume the viewpoint of the audience. That means you have to forego this personality of the writer and step into the shoes of the reader. And so realize that when you do that, you're not being a writer. You are looking at your work from the viewpoint of your reader. That is your audience. So you need to assume their viewpoint. You can do this and you can catch flubs and mistakes, and you can catch confusions and misuse of which person you're at, first and third and second, you can catch all of these things if you assume the viewpoint of your audience. So the fourth tip, and this is the final tip for this lesson, and that is if you're feeling lazy or unmotivated or you're stopped, I want you to go back and look at what you've just written and find out what you don't know. So there are some points where, you may have written, and some people free flow, and that's wonderful. I free flow a lot of times in my writing. And then the moment I get stopped, I have to kind of go back. So then I look and I find out, well, what don't I know about this? It might be, what don't I know about this character? What don't I know about this scene? Shoot, what don't I know about this book? Do I know anything about this person that I'm writing about? Like, what is it that I don't know? Answer that question and you should be able to move on. If you can't move on, then there's something else. There's something more that you don't know, or that confuses you, or that doesn't make sense with the scene or the character that you're writing. So what I would go back is, I would go back even further and find out at what point in your book or your scenes that everything was working and flowing perfectly towards not just the theme, but perfectly towards the end goal, right? If you can do that, then you'll discover at what point it detoured. So when you take a detour the wrong direction, then it stops. It stops you from achieving what you want to achieve right there. So what you'll do is you'll just go back and you look for that detour, right? So you look for it and you fix it. Okay? Good luck. If this video has inspired you and you'd like to know more, send me a message below.